know what's bull? Levon's up there talking, making me do all the dirty work, and then he still makes fun of me on the last video. It's bull. He needs to get back here and strap. It's hard to send them on their way having to do this stuff. Alright guys, today we have Brandon Phillips' truck, and I'm going to let him tell you the setup on the truck.
6.7, 188 over 220 cam. It's got Carrillos in it, Beans diesel girdle, twin fuelers, 150% nozzles. This compound setup might be a S300 over S480, not sure. It's 103 valve springs, push rods, full ported head, no O-rings, no fire rings, stock gasket with ARP 625s.
We'll flash tune in it. Well, actually we'll see what kind of power it makes on the tune that's on it now. Look at the data log, flash tune in it, and see if we can't break 1,000 horsepower.
Gonna hope so.
So we got Brandon's truck all wrapped up. We were able to squeeze 952 horsepower out of it, about 50 horsepower shy of his goal. But we're thinking it had since it had a T3 foot turbo on the manifold, it was just choking it up enough. And the more fuel we added, it wouldn't pick up any horsepower. So it's either out of air or his injectors aren't quite as big as he thinks that they are. But still, 952 horsepower for a street truck, that's a good number. Should be a fun little street truck. And then we made 892 on tune 4. Tune 3 made 812. Tune 2 made 739, and tune 1 made 658 horsepower. So we got a nice little spread of horsepower that he can use with the flip of a switch. So I'll get him off the dyno and send him on the way. Hey, it's almost a perfect X. Almost. My bad.
Measure the angles, bitch. Measure the angles.
I was just looking at it from back there, and it's not straight. When this was off and I was back there, I just happened to glance up here.
So the people that don't do any fab work here at all, like Levon, Larson, you know, they sit in their office all day just to come out here. It looks good.
No, it looks great. It's just a little off. This is Ryan Brinker's 2005 G56 truck. He has 225% injectors, dual fuelers, and a 464. We had tuned the truck, I believe it was 2018, remotely, and he brought us the truck to get a max effort tune, and then he wants a little better throttle response on the tow tune if he ever needs to tow. So we'll work on those tunes and go from there. So I got a max effort tune flashed into it, and we were able to squeeze 752 horsepower out of it. He has enough injector and enough CP3 to do a lot more power, but the 464 just seemed to hold him back. We added more fuel and it didn't really pick up more power, so I pulled it back. I pulled fuel out of it until it made a reasonable amount of power without smoking too much. That way it keeps his EGTs in check. And then on the tow tune we made 515 horsepower after a few adjustments, trying to keep his EGTs in check. That way he can tow a trailer if he needs to and not have to worry about it. So I'm all finished and I'll get him off the dyno.
Feels so sexy right now.
Can you see through it?
Not really. I mean, kind of see you there.
Oh, it's like even like tampered, tapered. Oh my God. So my new truck I got.
Is that your new driving hat?
Yeah. Well, you see, I have this thing called adaptive. You don't need anything. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
so I can just.
It's like
Who needs
autopilot.
I don't even need tinted windows anymore. I just don't know how to dodge Cummings. Is this another one of those trucks that's unfortunately deaf?
Yes.
Unfortunately deaf. Oh my
This
God.
truck cannot hear anything we're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go burnout! What's up, guys? I'm Andy Roby. Work here at Firepunk. Bought my first truck. Kind of impulsively. But we're gonna see how it goes. Literally know nothing on this truck. I have two really good friends at Coughlin in Marysville. If you ever need them, Denny Swanson or Randy Trout, they'll help you a lot. Told them what I wanted. I basically wanted to layer me to get the sport paint matched, and I was very simple. I wanted a 12-inch screen. I wanted just paint match, like I said, the cab light, and forget what else I wanted. That was really about it. Oh, adaptive cruise. That was really it. So fortunately, they already had one coming, and I had zero idea what was on it, anything like that. And needless to say, he delivered it the same day, today. I never test drove it, never did anything with it. He just brought it, and it worked out. So this will probably be one of my first times driving it and or sitting in it. So yeah.
Oh, look at that! Hell yeah! You messed up my floor! It's not. You gotta clean it.
Landon! I don't know anything about this truck.
Let's go find out.
All right. First 30 has a burnout.
Yeah.
That's good.
And we got to make sure we hit the speed limiter.
Is there a speed limit on?
Yeah, 102 mile an hour. Unless it's better than mine. Mine only goes to 102.
Oh.
Junk. Holy moly, I can't breathe. Sure you can handle this? 92, 95, 96.
Oh,
102.
it just falls on its face.
That's all she got.
Oh man.
The structure's slow.
Yeah, no shit. It's weird having all this room. I'm used to small, compact cars and stuff.
You're gonna have like a whole dinner down there.
I am. Literally. Dinner. Convenient.
Now it's gonna be like ramen noodles. Ramen noodles and truck payments.
How to get everything tinted.
We've done a burnout. We've hit the speed limiter.
Yeah.
Now we need to nitrous. We missed nitrous. We'll put it on the dyno, see how much
Can
power
do.
it makes.
Compared to yours.
Right.
And then after that, it's basically time to trade in on a new one.
We got Matt Gardenia's truck on the dyno. This is one of the trucks that is a 2012. We just put a bolt-in roll bar in this truck here last month or in July. And then we got it back on the dyno, and it was low on power. It says a D&J Predator motor. It has F1, 275% over injectors. A 14 mil stroker pump is on it now. We had a 12 mil on it. We just swapped that last week. But when we first put it on the dyno with the 12 mil pump, it had made 939 horsepower, and that was a low number for a setup that was supposed to have a 67, 87, 10 over an 85 twin turbo setup, and we couldn't figure out why it wasn't making power, but we had gone to 2,000 microseconds. The 12 mil pump had been wide open, couldn't get more fuel to it, couldn't get any more power. So he bought a 14 mil pump, put a 14 mil pump on it, and we did 1,085. So it was better, force feeding it with more fuel, definitely made more power. But it really, really smoky. And this morning we were going to do a nitrous run on it because he does have a maximizer floor with 2 stages of nitrous on it. But we hadn't run it yet because it was low on power for being fuel only. But finally we said, let's just see what it makes on nitrous. Before I did that, I decided to check out an exhaust leak. You can see here on the exhaust housing that there was an exhaust leak. And I tightened this exhaust clamp and it didn't get any better. And so I took the clamp off and I saw that there was a decent sized 16th inch gap from the center section to the exhaust housing. And I took the the charge pipe on, and even with a dead blow, I couldn't get the center section all the way on. Took it apart and started looking, and here the turbine wheel has been rubbing on the exhaust housing, and it's actually rubbed about 10 millimeters worth of turbine wheel off of the turbine wheel. And it also, instead of being an 87 turbine, is an 83 turbine. So, a couple different problems that we see, and the main part is probably originally when this thing was put together, it didn't get clamped in all the way, and then when heat was leaking out here, it probably distorted that exhaust housing a little bit, and now we can't get that center section on there right. So the fix is going to be to obviously fix the turbine wheel. We need to repair the exhaust housing because there's a decent rub mark on the exhaust housing, but it was supposed to have an 87 millimeter turbine wheel, so we're going to probably upgrade this turbo to an 87 turbine 1.0 housing and put this thing back together, and hopefully we're going to be closer to the power numbers that we're looking for. We really like to make 1200 horsepower on fuel with this setup, and then be able to spray it to 13 or 1400 if he needs it. He wants to run 670 with it and still a daily driver, full interior truck. That's why he did the bolt-in roll bar. So stay tuned. Hopefully we can get this turbo fixed up, and we'll get this thing back on the dyno here in a week or so once we get a new turbo shown up.